York. It's a show that has a star in its midst.
Really?
Grant Cohn.
Oh, he's great. We got to get him on.
He's fantastic, bro.
He is, you know what? I see a lot of myself in it. And Mahomes Mountain is back.
Yeah, it's coming up.
Mahomes Mountain
Grant
is
Cohn
back.
and Mahomes Mountain, but Grant Cohn first.
Purdy's arch rival.
No, just a truth
Thin
telling.
line, though.
Truth telling.
Thin line. All right, well, we start with Trent's back. Trent Williams agrees to an extension. His holdout is over. Brew, there was a lot of tumult this offseason.
Yes.
Brandon Ayuk, remember, he was on the Steelers. We did a whole show about that. Delete that.
Right.
CMC was injured. Trent wasn't around, but now Ayuk's back. CMC's practicing. And the GOAT is talking about Trent Williams' dominance on the herd. Take a listen.
I would be driving him to work every day if I was the quarterback. Having Trent in there, it's just an entirely different offense because of his athleticism, his rare combination of size, of quickness, of power. I mean, when he gets out there on the field, he's a matchup advantage for the Niners every time that he takes a snap.
Okay, Brew, do you have any interest in changing your pick back to the 49ers, your beloved 49ers, which there were a lot of questions
This is
about?
allowed?
They're one of your teams.
It's no games have been played.
Yeah.
And there is a material change on the level of a quarterback injury, which is a guy who some smart people, myself and Tom Brady, consider the second best player in football. I don't know if I'm talking about Trent Williams.
Okay, I didn't know you were
is now back in the fold. So yeah, even as me, Mr. I will not hold it against you. I will not consider it a flip flop.
I trust Wild.
Yeah.
I don't trust Nick.
Brew.
If I did switch to the Niners
The season
and they
hasn't started.
won it, you would not give me
season hasn't even
The
started.
season hasn't started. You want to do it. They're your team.
No. Okay, look, here's what I'm doing. It is tempting. It is very tempting because I do like Brock Purdy.
You love
One
Brock
thing I'm definitely changing, I am changing his preseason grade from a D to a C.
Why does he get a better grade?
Because it was circumstances. He's trying to, work some things out.
Wait.
His receivers weren't there. He's just trying to experiment, see what he can get away with. That's why there were so many interceptions.
That doesn't make
So it's
sense.
from a D to a C.
That's not
All
what's
right?
allowed
So,
to change.
As far as my pick,
If people didn't see, you picked the Packers.
I picked the Packers to reach the Super Bowl and lose to the Ravens.
Yeah.
I'm sticking with the Packers. I'm sticking with the Packers. And here's why. Everybody talks, and we do talk, about how San Francisco's been knocking on the door for the better part of 5 years, right, when healthy. Guess who else has been knocking on the door? The Green Bay Packers.
What?
And
Different doors.
You notice under Matt LaFleur, they have been knocking on the door. Aaron Rodgers got them to 2 conference championships. They couldn't get over the hump. And you may say, well, yeah, it's a different quarterback now. Niners have a different quarterback too. Green Bay under Matt LaFleur is ready. All right? They are primed and ready. Jordan Love is good. And I thought before last year, just the little glimpses I saw of him in his 3rd season, I think it was, he looked pretty good. And I said, I think next year he's going to be good. He was. That receiving core, Nick, I don't know who's number one, but I think they have a couple of guys who have number one potential. Jaden Reed, Christian Watson, not number one, but Romeo Doubs.
And
Wicks
Watson's
is
the
pretty
highest
good.
drafted of them.
Yeah, so I think that the Packers are winning the NFC,
So
and I'm sticking with them. Because I got questions about, look, the Niners, it's been a rough offseason, and I know it's gotten better, but guess who else didn't practice? And you know this. Christian McCaffrey, sprained calf. I know he's practicing
he came back today.
But that worries me.
So
that worries me.
So Wilds, I have to admit something.
Go ahead.
I know you're
Because
disappointed.
who suggested
You're ticked
this?
off.
Who suggested this?
Yeah, I thought
question?
usually you like to get into the minutia of the contracts.
Yeah,
You like to get a hold of it. But you suggested this because
I've suggested this question
because he wants to pounce on me.
Well, I mean,
later in the season he wants to pounce.
Yes, that is correct.
Yes, but you
not
can't
for
pounce.
changing today, because I knew you wouldn't. Because I wanted this full video of you being like, I'm not changing, I believe. Yeah. Because not only we all saw last year that for weeks on end, Brew, while saying he was committed to the Eagles, had his true love in San Francisco.
Yeah, that's okay.
We talked about it to the point to where Brew had switched to the Niners before the playoffs had even started because the Eagles were just written off when they had lost to the Giants and it was over.
Moment?
There was. And so I will make the bold prediction of the segment, which is not only is Brew eventually going to flip to the Niners, I'll tell you the show that he does it.
Wow.
Give me the Packers schedule, if you would, please. Packers schedule.
You don't have the Packers making the playoffs.
Okay. So on Sunday, November 24th, the Sunday before Thanksgiving, the Packers host the San Francisco 49ers. Oh. And when the Niners win that game and the Packers fall to 6-5, and they realize that, people got a little over their skis on them, on that Monday show, November 25th, right before Thanksgiving, before the Packers go to play the Dolphins, Brew is going to say sheepishly to America, I've got the Niners.
I knew it all.
And he's going to, and we're going to hear Iowa Mafia, Brock Purdy stand up, and all of it. So I'm just telling you guys, so Brew is eventually going to do this.
I buy that.
Today is evidently not the day, though.
All right, do you have more
That
stuff?
was
I got to
cute.
get to our star.
No.
That was cute.
Well, it was accurate.
But first of all, new information is new information.
He's already proven
All right, no, I'm not going to switch. I don't think I've ever switched a pick on this show.
You literally did from the Eagles to the Niners last year during the Supernatural.
No, once it became obvious.
Well, that's switching it.
I am an analyst.
Yeah.
I'm not just up here entertaining folks.
Not a fan.
I mean,
Who do you hold the pom-poms
I don't
for?
hold pom-poms for anyone. All right? You're lucky that your hometown team happens to have Patrick Mahomes. So you can carry pom-poms and all that. But if the Packers look like they're not going to make the playoffs, at some point I have to be honest.
Yeah,
that's fair.
All right, so that's
what
all.
the audience.
But
demands.
no, but right now I like the Packers.
Okay, Brew,
mark this down, Dusty, because we will see.
So much. Yeah. Okay, November 25th. I have marked that.
That's no way.
Let me see.
No way.
There is.
If it even got close, I wouldn't do it just because he just said it.
That's fair too. There is some urgency in the building. Friend of the show, Grant Cohn, released this.
Friend of the show?
Yes,
yeah,
we love him.
I think
And he retweets
star.
He's a Brock Purdy hater.
No.
He has said, I am known as a Brock Purdy hater.
But
He's a bit of an alarmist, but.
Oh, okay, alarmist.
Hello, Super Bowl.
A bit of an alarmist. Shanahan. Lynch, they've done a good job.
They've done a great job.
Shanahan?
No, I don't.
There are questions about him being able to win the big game.
Yeah, but if he,
Fairly.
the Wilds, you know your rule on if the other team is rooting for me to kick, I should go for it.
Yeah.
Which is.
We need a clever name for that.
Yeah, but
They want you to
when
fire
deciding on
Opponent's preference.
There is a.
I agree with that.
There is a coaching version of that, which is, if I fired this guy, would a dozen teams have meetings about firing their coach to hire him? Then that doesn't always mean you shouldn't fire him.
Yeah.
So I think Andy is maybe the greatest coach ever. I also don't hold it against Philly that they moved on from him.
Sure.
You know what I mean?
was the right
Sometimes
move. Right.
it is played out. It's played its course. You need fresh blood. I think Shanahan has done a brilliant job in San Francisco. I think John Lynch is a weird one because Lynch's first-round picks have been littered with misses, but his drafts have been good because he has gotten first-round value from so many mid and late-round picks.
Yeah.
And so I think what they have done is spend a lot of tomorrow's money today, which, you know what I mean, we can get into, I guess, in this segment here, but they have borrowed from future Niners to help this year's Niners, which I understand them doing.
Okay. It felt like you wanted me to tee something up there.
Well, you're going to ask us
Yeah, I
this
thought you were going to
question.
ask now or never for this version of the Niners.
Now or never for this.
Well, I thought that's what you were doing. No. Go ahead.
It's definitely like they're Super Bowl or bust. There's no doubt. And they're going to lose Debo next year. Mm-hmm. Once you signed Ayuk, that's pretty much a done deal. They may have to lose a few other guys.
A lot of guys.
What I will say, though, is, Nick, I don't know if you'll agree with this or not. Even though this iteration of the Niners is going to be different next year, win the Super Bowl or not, I don't think their window is going to be closed. Like, I still think if they lose some of their top guys, they won't be the NFC favorite like a lot of people always have them. but I think they still will be a contender. And I do think Brock Purdy, assuming he plays well this year and they sign him, I think he's going to win a Super Bowl for them at some point. Okay. They won't be as talented in the future, but I still think they'll have a ton of talent and be capable of winning a Super Bowl.
So yeah, I mean, if they don't get it done this year with the most talent Brock Purdy will likely ever have around him, and they didn't get it done last year with that level of talent and health, it'd be very, very difficult for me to see when Brock Purdy all of a sudden is making 60x what he's making now. And I don't buy, Brock's the type of guy, he'll take 30. No one literally ever has.
Right. I can see him taking like 57.
Okay, sure. I do think there is a margin of
absolute.
I need it all.
Okay, but I'm not going to dismiss that.
I'm going to dismiss it outright.
But,
that just for the sake of argument, here's why I'm dismissing it outright. You pay me $880. For a
you
long
almost
time.
owe me back.
I'm not Drake May. I'm not getting Caleb's $25 million. You pay me less than $1 million. I need all.
But you don't see anything in his personality.
I don't know his personality.
From what we see, from what I see, and I'm not saying he's going to take, like Nick said, $30 million. But I do feel like, I don't know him, I'm just saying from what I see, he is the type of guy that might leave a few million on the table if they think it'll help him get some other guy. But I guess I don't think that part. The reason I was kind of saying it doesn't matter is I don't think the difference between contending is 57 and 60. I do think it can help in the slightest of margins. But the Niners are in a weird spot where it's not a weird spot, but they obviously hope he plays well enough that giving him 55+ million is a no-brainer. Right. But then things get complicated because Wilds had a tweet that I think echoes what a lot of people feel. Yeah. Which is, I know the salary cap is a thing, but it sure seems like the Niners play by a different set of rules.
Yes, and everyone responded. I said that feels like the Niners cap is 3x your favorite teams to get everybody into it. And they're like, well, you're not paying the rookie quarterback. I'm like,
no,
I'm not paying my rookie quarterback either. And I'm CMC and Trent Williams.
It's actually not. The people are
We tried to get Ayuk and we couldn't get Ayuk.
The people are wrong about the rookie quarterback thing. This is the easiest, simplest way I can explain it to the audience. It's back to school season, right?
Oh, yeah.
So imagine that your kid has to buy lunch every day. And you think, you know what, just simple numbers, I'll give you $100 for the week. And the first day of the week, he comes in with Chipotle for him and his buddies. And his friends are like, how can you afford that? We all got $100. But the answer is, well, he can afford it because he's borrowing from Thursday and Friday's money, and come Thursday and Friday, he's not going to have money for lunch. The salary cap is real, but you can always borrow from future years. And now people are like, oh, the cap rises. Yes, but the cap rises by the same amount for every team. And the Niners, along with the Dolphins, along with the Browns, along with the Saints, are the 4 teams that have leveraged the most of future years to help this season. I think it makes sense because Trent Williams is old, because Christian McCaffrey is kind of oddly old for a running back. Kittle is old. Your quarterback is so cheap you have all these extra things. But winter is coming in this regard. The following players are free agents after this year. Dre Greenlaw, Charvarius Ward, along with all of their starting corners, all their top 4 corners. Hufanga, 2 of their starting offensive linemen. Those guys are all just free agents. Then you have to pay Purdy. This is why Trent, even though he's so great, they were hesitant to guarantee money next year because they could have saved it. So the point I'm making is this. I believe in Shanahan, and I think Purdy is clearly good enough for them to be in contention if the right team's around him. And Lynch has done a good job of finding pieces. But from a raw talent perspective, this is the most talent the Niners will have for years. So I don't want to say it's now or never, but it's now or the near future. You know what I mean? So that's what I do truly believe, which is why keeping Ayuk, kind of swallowing hard and paying Trent, I get it. You've been to 4 NFC championship games and 2 Super Bowls in 5 years. In that same time frame, you've won 0 Super Bowls. The Eagles have won. The Eagles didn't win, in that 5-year time frame. They ran right before. But the Rams, the Bucks, the Chiefs 3 times. Like, you're trying to win. I get it, but there is a cost to it down the road.
Yeah. All right. You want to talk about the Jets, bro?
I'm always open to talk. You see my tie.
I thought it was Packers. Bill Belichick made his debut on one of the several platforms he's pulling checks from, Underdog Fantasy. He's complimenting one of his one-time bitter rivals, the New York Jets. Okay, you've been saying this. It's like
I have.
Great minds think alike.
It's almost like, first of all, color me flattered that he's watching the show, apparently.
Yeah.
It's almost like he's quoting me verbatim. Now, when I bring up Breece Hall, Nick crushes me.
I don't.
Yeah.
Okay, go
I
ahead.
know Nick doesn't value the running back position, but there are a handful of guys who are kind of special. And I don't know if Hall's there, but what I will say, right, yeah, I'm not ready. He's not Christian McCaffrey.
He's had a good start
right,
when he's been healthy. Almost had 1,000
Here's how
yards
good,
last
Nick.
year.
When he was a rookie with Joe Flacco and Zach Wilson at quarterback, they were 5-2.
Okay,
when he was the bell cow.
So that's because of him, not because of the defense.
No, it's both. You know I love their defense, but I'm saying he was the bell cow, particularly in a 3-game win streak they had where he's getting almost 20 carries a game. And then when he got hurt, they finished the season 2-8. Last year, obviously, he was there. They didn't have a great year, but they didn't have Aaron Rodgers either at quarterback. So Breece Hall is a huge difference maker, especially when you have a quarterback who you have to be concerned about as a defense and receivers.
So here's where this is where I get, I don't want to come across like I don't think Garrett Wilson's very good. I do think he's very good. I think he's very good.
Was he ranked 8th? As a receiver or something?
Oh, I don't know. In that
polls,
NFL rank, I thought he was 12th and 1, but that kind of speaks to where he's a very good receiver at a time where I think receivers the deepest it's ever been.
Right.
And so there's 18 guys that are in your top 10, which means somebody who's in your top 10 is actually 18th. That's tough. Breece, I think he's a very good running back who has been slightly overhyped by his fantasy ranking, which not by you because you don't care about fantasy. But I think he's good. But a lot of the Jets supporting cast conversation, it triggers the same thing in my brain as when we talk about the Lakers outside of LeBron and AD. And Brew, fairly, I think, is like, D'Angelo Russell's a good player. Austin Reeves is a good player. Rui is a good player. Yeah. And it's like all those things are true, but they are not playing in a vacuum. Comparative to the teams they are competing with their supporting cast, I think it is lacking. So for the Jets, when Bill Belichick says they are tough to game plan for, they are competing with, let's just stay in the AFC. Are they tougher to game plan for than Baltimore? No. Are they tougher to game plan for than Cincinnati? No. Are they tougher to game plan for than Houston? No. Are they tougher to game plan for than, I'll go ahead and throw out Kansas City? No. Are they tougher to game plan for than Miami? Oh. No. We're at 5. Now, in the NFC, because we're talking about them going to the Super Bowl, are they tougher to game plan for than San Francisco? Absolutely not. Then Philadelphia? Of course not. Then Detroit? No. Then the team Aaron Rodgers used to be on, Green Bay, that has 3 potential #1 receivers, and Josh Jacobs now? No, of course not. The Rams, maybe, and now we're in the fuzzy area. The Rams, I would say the Rams are tougher. Oh, yeah. Now we're at 10 teams. So it's not that I think these guys aren't good. It's that when we're like, oh, the weapons. Okay, well, I've got 10 teams that I think have better weapons. So that means they have slightly above average weapons.
Okay, that's you said better weapons, but game planning.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying they're better than Houston, but Houston and Cincinnati don't have the run games that we think the Jets will have, or that Belichick thinks the Jets will have.
But they have far better receiving corps.
Yeah, but when I game plan for Houston or Cincinnati, they're throwing the football.
Yeah, but you don't know
maybe it was different when Cincinnati had Joe Mixon, but they're throwing the football.
But Joe Mixon's now on Houston, right, for the record.
But we know, they didn't have a good run game last year, so you're right. Mixon now, that could make them different. But if I know they're passing, even though their receivers are great, and here's the thing about Garrett Wilson, Nick, because you're talking about receivers who have had C.J. Stroud and Joe Burrow. This dude has gone over 1,000 yards in 2 seasons with Zach Wilson throwing the football.
I think he's excellent. I don't think he's as good as Jamar Chase. And I think that because we like to be fairly complimentary of good players, sometimes we forget that in a football season, there are going to be exactly as many wins as there are losses. So no team is good within a vacuum. It's all comparative. It's not how many good players on my defense. It's compared to the teams I'm competing with, how good is my defense? My offense, compared to the teams I'm competing with, how good is my offense? And that's what I'm saying about the Jets. I think the Jets, when you actually do the list that I love so much, They're like, oh, slightly above average in difficulty to gameplay.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.